Oh, hey, what's going on, guys? So, one of the biggest problems that a lot of people are falling victim to and they cannot get out of is this issue with comparison. And a lot of people don't realize it, but Satan's working really hard right now and he's dividing people. He's giving you ideologies and thoughts. And if you think about any current day issue, any modern issue that a lot of people are talking about on the news, whether it's COVID, whether it's vaccines and unvaccinated, whether it's racial issues of certain people getting privileged and not privileged, CRT, this and that, you got everything all around you, whether it's, education, the money you're making, socioeconomic, circumstances, a certain milestone, a certain event, a certain thing that you got to do by a certain age, how many, tokens you have of some societal, thing that people aspire to get to. And so many of us, we're so dug deep. We're so entrenched in these things that you don't realize that it's hurting you. You don't realize that it's dividing you, your neighbor against yourself, your mom, your dad, your brother against yourself. And the devil is laughing. The devil is laughing right now because some of the tactics, they're so rudimentary. They're so easy for you to, reject, for you to just have a calm, collected mind over, for you to not be anxious over, for you to not be chasing, to have some rat race, to go after these things, but really to let yourself go and to ask, Lord, what is it that you would have for me? I am content in you. I'm excited. I'm joyful that I have only you as opposed to any of these other things that I want. And of course, it might be nice to have certain things. It might be good to be married. I'm not married. I have an aspiration to, but I'm not sitting here palpitating and sweating and just getting all anxious and wasting my breath, right? And the Bible even says, can you add an hour to your life by doing these things? And so many of us were so consumed and so concerned over all these different things, looking at to your left, to your right, and forward, backward, whatever it is. All you got to do is look up. You got to look up, and in your progression of your life, and in God's timing, and waiting for Him, and doing all these different things, just being in His presence, being in His Word, being in prayer, and enjoying the things that are in front of you. Instead of just looking so far to somebody else or to some other aspiration to your future. God has it for you. And in due time, He'll open a door. He'll give you that ministry. He'll give you that blessing, whatever it is that God has for you, right? Except that right now, God is wanting to test us. He wants us to be right with Him. He wants us to make sure that we're not entrapped in the devil's schemes. And a lot of us, we're so easily triggered. We're so easily caught up in what the world says and getting angry at this issue, getting angry at that person, arguing with whoever it is, and chasing these things for your own desire, as opposed to just being at peace and in stillness with Him. And if you think about it, if God were to prematurely give you a gift, if He were to prematurely open a door for you, how much it would be that it would wreck you, how much it would be that it would be even worse, more detrimental to you than if He waited, if He allowed you to go through some things so that you can be in a place to be ready. And just like kids, right? If you're 5 years old, you're not ready for marriage. You're not ready to go out into the real world yet, right? So God is giving this person a chance to grow, chance to mature, to experience life in some sense before he goes out. And so many of us right now, we don't realize it, but with everything going on in the world, with everything going on in your life, you're looking every which way except up, except being content in Him. And so I just want to encourage you guys, get your bearings straight, get perspective, and being able to objectively see yourself, your attitude, your outlook, and your perspective on life. And if you do that, I'll tell you, man, you'll be so much more happy. You'll be so much more content. I know God has a door for me. I know eventually it will come. But every year that passes, I'm not looking around and thinking, oh man, I'm getting too old, or I'm, missing out, or whatever it is. God has it for me, right? And the same goes for all of you. Whatever it is, whatever that aspect is, a job, maybe trying to have some kids, maybe moving out of some place, going into a new place, whatever it is. And of course, God wants us to be happy. He wants us to live a joyful life. but there are certain things you have to be aware of, that he tests us, he trains us, he hones us to be more Christ-like. And so just wanted to bless you guys with that. Be aware, keep praying, and we'll talk very soon. God bless.